Yo, and hello and welcome to the 153rd episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning high definition, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter to never miss an episode, and buy sick t-shirts or hats from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Jafra, alongside Brent Military Man Bass.
Salute. What's up, man?
I honestly don't know, man. A lot of stuff has been going on.
Yeah, what's been going on?
You know, I just don't want to talk about it. We just have a podcast that we come on. It's just
all right, podcast over. Just
no, not much has really been going on. I saw that movie Parasite.
I thought you were gonna say Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, I probably should have saw that. I want to see that, honestly, but
I honestly don't, but I feel like I should see it just because they took the time to redo Sonic. You know.
I mean, I could care less that they took the time to fix it. They shouldn't have made that horrendous monster in the first place. But so that's their problem.
Wait,
but,
so you saw Parasite? Was it as good as all the critics are saying? Or is it just a fat piece of shit that's blown out
those
of
are the only
proportion?
two options.
Yeah, there's no in between.
No, it was good. It just wasn't as crazy as everybody made it out to be, which is because I think I'm kind of not one to ask because I've seen Hereditary. You know, it's just nothing is jarring and disturbing to me after Hereditary.
Was it supposed to be disturbing?
Certain aspects of it.
What was it about? Can you just give me a rough summary of the movie without ruining it all?
Well, the director himself says that you should go in blind. So I feel if I say anything, I'm ruining it. But I mean,
okay, I'll go in blind.
If you guys don't want to know, I'm about to get into spoiler territory on Parasite for the next, look at your clock, 30 seconds. The movie is about this poor family basically finessing their way into all working for this rich family in Korea. So the brother starts working there as a tutor or an English tutor, and then the sister, who's really good at photoshops all these documents for him to get in there. And then she becomes the art teacher for the daughter in the rich family, and then the mom becomes the house nanny. But the way they do that is they kick out, or they get them to fire the old nanny or whatever, and all this stuff just gets crazy. You know, it's
so they're just trying to all work for one rich family.
Yeah, because they're so poor that they have nothing. So it's basically
they're the parasites.
Yes. You've figured it out.
I cracked the code, dude.
You've cracked the code. But there's some twists and stuff like that, and it gets interesting. But
sounds pretty good. Sounds like Clue.
Sounds
like Knives Out. No, I'm just kidding.
It's very much like that, honestly.
All right.
It's not bad though. Yeah. Now that the spoilers are over, all I'm gonna say is it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You know,
it's basically Knives Out. No, I'm just kidding.
It's Knives Out, the prequel. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So, Brent, you said you had some issues getting over here.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me about your drive here.
So, wild drive up here. It starts out, first of all, in Huntsville right now, it's like a monsoon. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it's super rainy and wet. And so I jump in the car. I'm ready to brave the storm. I'm like, let's do this, and sure enough, I get on 45. The traffic is stopped, I'm like, whatever, not a big deal. I sent you a text. That's when I texted you. I was like, look, it's what's going on? It's a little crazy. Traffic a little crazy. But it kind of cleared up pretty soon. So I'm driving through this rain, and off in the distance, I see this flicker of light, And I'm like, what? What is that? Is that is something on fire? And then I'm like, shit, is that a house on fire? And I'm going past it, and there's a whole truck just engulfed in flames, fire coming out the windows and shit.
Dang.
I was like, I don't know. It was crazy. And the fire was at least 10 feet high or so, going up over the highway. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Could you see the driver?
No, I was kind of going really fast and it was raining, so I didn't have time to like sit there and like examine it. It was so like engulfed in flames, I couldn't even tell it was a truck for a second. I thought it was like a wagon or something parked on the side of the road, and then like the closer I looked, I was like, oh shit, that's like a Ford F-150 just completely like engulfed in flames. Like,
damn, dude.
I mean, it was like insane. Like I've never seen anything burning that much other than like one of those Christmas trees like a month or two after Christmas, when you know what I mean. Like
that's pretty crazy. So just parked off to the side of the road.
Just parked off to the side of the road, just burning. Anyway, so I go past that a little ways and I'm like, oh man, that was fucking nuts. What did I just see? I was like contemplating calling the cops, but there's like 100 people and I was like, surely somebody's called the cops about this gigantic flame burning out of this truck.
No one called.
So it's like, whatever, and I keep going. And so, like, the rain had cleared up at this point. It was, like, already starting to clear up when I saw the fire. That's one of the things that made this so crazy. Is like, the fire's going nuts, and it's, like, still kind of sprinkling, I don't know. Anyways, I get a little bit past it. The rain clears up, and, like, I'm driving, and it's all normal. And, like, suddenly I just, like, hear this noise behind me, like...
What the hell?
I was like, what is going on? And like,
are you in a Saw movie? What is happening?
And like, I'm driving and like, suddenly these two fucking cars fly past me, like faster than like fucking anything I've ever seen. And
anything?
Dude, it was like Need for Speed, but like F-Zero style, dude. They were going so fucking fast. And one of them had like blue neons and one of them had like green neons under the car. And they're just, it was like a fucking Fast and the Furious movie.
They start drifting, and you notice, you look through the window, and there he was, Paul Walker's ghost.
Anyways, Paul Walker's ghost chunked me the peace sign, and that was pretty much it. That was. He's a slow motion drifts around the corner, like
as that truck is on fire. Like, anyways, yeah, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. Oh, also, last week I think I talked about I was going to buy a computer. This week I've been doing more research, and I found the perfect computer.
What is it?
Well, okay. It's a Skytech Blaze 2. There's a bunch of different models or whatever, but this one is only like $850. And this is all just going to sound like gibberish, but it's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's got, I forgot the processor, but it's got a good processor, and it's got a fucking RX 2060, I think is what it's called, but it's like a really good fucking graphics card. Yeah. And so it's gonna do the thing for really cheap, and I'm really excited to get it. So.
It's good, dude. I like that it has Blaze in the name.
And yeah, I'm gonna blaze it up, dude.
420, dude.
The only thing is, it's on sale right now, so I'm worried that the sale is gonna end before fucking I get my tax return. So.
Oh yeah, I like how whoever is like listening to this podcast, they're going to hear all this stuff at the beginning, and then they're going to be like, these are the guys that are going to tell us whether video games cause violence.
Well,
I find it funny. No, but it's... yeah, we're the go-to experts, but...
We're doing the best we can.
We can.
Yeah.
I just find it ridiculous. It's like whenever people, like, cite Joe Rogan as, like, some source of, like, super, like, serious information. I'm always like, that's the same guy who, like, is constantly talking about doing DMT, like, floating in, like, a,
Hey, man.
I'm not saying Joe Rogan doesn't know stuff.
DMT is crazy.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's pretty funny to think about. Anyways, so Batman, Robert Pattinson. Did you see it? Did you see his him in the suit?
No, I didn't. I even saw the article and I was like, you know what? I'll be surprised whenever it happens. I'm sure I'll see it eventually.
A lot of people are comparing it to like the Daredevil suit, but like
what does it not look like Batman? Was it?
It does, but it's like sewn together.
Oh,
like it looks like it's like the first Batman costume like he ever made or something. Like it's like leather stitched together and stuff. It's kind of weird. But his jawline, dude. It looks like it carved out the entire cowl, dude.
Oh, I like that. I feel like I need to watch this now.
Yeah, you got to see it.
Is
dude.
it like a trailer or is it just pictures?
It's just like a teaser, like a little tiny video, and it's like super dark, but people like lighten the video so you could see it better and stuff. Anyways, but yeah. So did anything crazy happen this week besides your insane driving to get up here?
Not really.
Word. Well, then we will go ahead and jump on into the gaming news.
Sorry,
I saw you lost your
I thought I deleted my document there for a second, and it just came back. That was so weird. It just disappeared.
Little back end
that was a little scary there.
Insight for you guys.
It was like hours of research just like vanished for a second and then just came back. So
Brent often deletes his document, like right
it's happened
as we're
multiple times. Yeah, I need a more reliable source
of notes.
Of notes, yeah.
Okay, so just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the material as our own. We are simply giving commentary on said articles, and we're going to start this off with some great news. Game Pass has some new games coming. Now I'm going to list them off for you. Game Pass for the console is going to get Ninja Gaiden 2 on February 20th, Kingdom Hearts 3 on February 25th, 2 Point Hospital on February 25th, Wasteland Remastered on February 25th, Yakuza 0, February 26th, Jackbox Party Pack 3, February 27th. Game Pass Ultimate / PC is getting Indivisible, Reigns, Game of Thrones, 2 Point Hospital, Wasteland Remastered, and Yakuza 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yakuza 0, bro. I've been wanting to play that.
Have you, though?
I have.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want you lying on air.
No lies here.
No,
and Ninja Gaiden 2, that's cool. That's always fun, you know?
Yeah, I've never played Ninja Gaiden 2.
That's a good one.
Is it a 3D
It's hard as
one?
fuck. Yeah, it's 3D. It's 3D as fuck. Bro.
It's not the one that was on Xbox, right? The Ninja Gaiden
I think it
Black?
is. No, it's the sequel to that. Ninja Gaiden Black is a remake of the original one on Xbox.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I never played it. Anyways, what you got, Brent? Drop us some news.
Okay. NVIDIA has revealed the special edition Cyberpunk 2077 RTX 2080 Ti, which features the familiar Founders Edition cooler design with bright yellow accents and the game's logo on the back. Only 77 cards are being made, with all of them being given away by NVIDIA through the competition that they're doing. NVIDIA says you won't be able to purchase these. So if you want to find out about this, just Google up the NVIDIA Cyberpunk RTX 2080 Ti competition and...
So is it just like a graphics card that's specifically made for Cyberpunk 2077?
It's got you can get other 2080 Ti's, but it's a really, really good graphics card, first of all. It's like pretty much the best you can get right now. You know, there's definitely better, but it's like up there, like top 5, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's the best you can get right now. There's definitely better, but
well, I don't know. There might not be better, but it's really, really good. You know, it's like, you know,
top tier.
Somebody else knows that there's probably something better, but you know,
gotcha.
It's up there. But it's like a Cyberpunk edition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everyone's gonna open up your tower and look at your 2077. You know,
well, the card alone is worth more than most consoles and stuff like that. It's pretty expensive.
Crazy.
It's like.
I'm excited for whoever wins that.
Me too. I want to win it.
Yeah, for your new comp, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta start saying that. That's
new
what
comp.
we say now.
Yeah.
New comp, bro.
New comp.
Yeah.
I
guess you can only say that like once, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Alessandro Barbosa at GameSpot says Persona 5 is having a resurgence in 2020 with Persona 5 Royale launching on PS4 and the Nintendo Switch getting Persona 5 Scramble, which you could argue is as essential as a sequel this month in Japan.
No,
yeah, exactly.
Cannot.
But what about bringing the original to the Nintendo Switch? Something fans have been asking for. It's curious that Atlus is releasing a follow-up to Persona 5 on a platform where players still can't play its preceding story, with no firm indication that it's on the cards. Speaking to IGN, Atlus communications manager Ari Advincula didn't have any new announcements to share, but did ensure fans that Atlus is listening. Quote, You want what you want. And if you don't let us know, if you don't let us know it, we're never going to be able to make it. Advincula made it very clear during the interview that she's far from the decision maker at Atlas, and that this shouldn't serve as a confirmation that the studio is working on a port. But as a self-proclaimed champion of the idea, she believes it's important to always voice your opinion. I don't know. I don't want to just be the bearer of bad news for Miss Advincula, but I'm pretty sure everybody's been voicing that they want Persona 5 on other platforms.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially Switch.
Yeah,
specifically
especially
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everybody said that. She's like, we won't know if you don't say it. It's like, what do you want us to come to your house? Do you want us to kick your door in? Be like, we want it on Switch.
Dude,
yeah.
I feel like it just would be so perfect on Switch. They've got to be working on it. If there's not some kind of exclusivity deal keeping them on PlayStation, then I'm sure they're working on it,
Yeah. I think just the fact that she's mentioning it means that, something is going to come from that. I feel like she wouldn't be able to talk about that if they weren't actually, trying to hype it up.
They're probably going to put the new one on Switch that's about to come out. The Royal, you know what I mean?
Royal?
Yeah, you might as well not downgrade the story at this point. And it's not such a graphically demanding game where it would just be impossible to put it on the Switch,
It's the music that it can't handle, bro.
For real, though. I don't know. I just think it's such a big game. It probably takes a long time to port. I bet they're trying to work it all out. I bet they're working on it though. I'd be surprised if they're not.
For sure. Same. I agree. What do you got?
Fortnite rickrolled everybody the other day on YouTube with a video titled "Watch How This Bear Made the Unlikeliest of Friends," and then a fish popped up and did the Rickroll dance. But you can get the dance now in game for 500 V-Bucks, so check that out. It's pretty cool.
That's tight. So internet. Matt Elfring at GameSpot says Hasbro's brand Nerf has spent the past few years bringing iconic weaponry from the world of video games into the real world. Fortnite got its own blasters and a few super soakers, and Overwatch got some really cool blasters as well.
Oh, they did Overwatch?
Yeah, dude.
That's cool.
Now, Nerf is moving forward with its next installment, Halo.
Ooh.
Praise be on Master Chief and the Covenant, as Nerf has 3 different blasters coming out this fall based on the Halo franchise. First is the Halo MA40 blaster, inspired by the weapon in the upcoming Halo Infinite. This is the premier blaster from the upcoming set, and it features a clip that holds 10 darts. The MA40 takes 4 C batteries in order to fire the darts. Additionally, the blaster comes with a code to unlock the MA40's color scheme in Halo Infinite. The retail price for the blaster is $50. There are also 2 blasters from the Microshot line arriving in October. First is the Spinker, SPNKR, based on the UNSC weapon of the same name. This is a one-shot blaster that comes with 2 darts, and it will retail for $10. And finally, there's the Covenant's Needler.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, sure, the darts don't home in on your enemy, nor will they explode, but this mini blaster does have the look of the Halo weapon. It comes with 2 darts and will cost $10. All of these Nerf... That's kind of lame, though. 2 darts.
Well, I mean,
on a needler?
Do you expect it to just shoot the needles out the top?
No, but
that would be sick. I mean, but
I feel like they should have made it battery operated and not made it a mini. Made it like a normal size one.
No, you're right for sure. They should have. You should have had like a little cylinder chamber in the middle or something.
Yeah, it could shoot out like 10, just like the other gun. But
I mean, considering the Fortnite gun is like fully automatic and like fucking, it's tight. I got my girlfriend's nephew one for Christmas, and it's so tight, dude. You like hold the trigger down and it like, and like while it's like revved up, you can just like pew 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 pew.
That's tight. That's what I want. That's what I want for the Needler. But it should have like some audio that comes out and makes the Needler sound.
Oh yes, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Anyways, what you got, Brent?
Ooh, they should have put like glowing bullets in it too.
Oh yeah. Or like found a way to like put the darts in the top where they stick out, and as you shoot them, they like go in and shoot out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Sick. They need like some aerospace engineers on these things.
Oh man. Okay, so I've got a list here of the all the confirmed E3 exhibitors so far for 2020 right now.
Xbox.
Right.
That's it.
So we've got Bandai Namco, Bethesda, and these are just people that are confirmed to at least be at the show floor.
So it's not even conference.
Not all these people. So a lot of them are doing conferences, but not all of them. Like Bethesda for sure will do a conference, I'm sure. But Bandai Namco is going to be there. Bethesda, Capcom, Hori, which is like a controller company, Microsoft, InDreams, Nintendo, Nvidia, Oculus, Sega, Square Enix, Take-Two, Ubisoft, and Warner Brothers Interactive.
Nice. Did you see that Jeff Keighley won't be there?
Yeah, I did see that.
Did you get the article for that?
I had the article somewhere on here.
Look for that, because I didn't get that article.
Here, I'll pull it up. Let's see.
Yeah, because it's another thing just
here you go.
happening to E3.
I'll just read it real quick. E3 2020 is getting another shakeup as host and producer Jeff Keighley has announced he will not be participating in E3 this year. Specifically, he won't be producing E3 Coliseum, the game showcase he introduced in conjunction with the Entertainment Software Association in 2017. In a statement, Keighley explained his decision and said he looks forward to supporting the industry in other ways. For the past 25 years, I've attended every electronics entertainment expo, he said. Covering, hosting, and sharing E3 has been a highlight of my year, not to mention defining part of my career. I've debated what to say about E3 2020. While I want to support the developers who will showcase their work, I also need to be open and honest with you, the fans, about precisely what to expect from me. I have made the difficult decision to decline to produce E3 Coliseum. For the first time in 25 years, I will not be participating in E3. I look forward to supporting the industry in other ways and at other events in the future, Keighley added. Some additional context in Twitter replies. He said a, quote, ton of factors went into his decision to back out. Quote, I just don't really feel comfortable participating given what I know about the show as of today.
What does that mean?
That's what I'm saying.
What does he know?
I know. In another tweet, he said his decision to back out wasn't related to money. Quote, we honestly didn't even get that far, he said. Keighley also produces and hosts the Game Awards and hosted a similar event at Gamescom, blah, blah, blah.
Are they just gonna like fucking roll Kim Jong-un out at the show? Is that why he's backing out?
Bro, what if China is like...
taking over?
What if China's taking over? What if he's like fucking, well, maybe I'm just stretching there. But, you know.
Everybody's just sitting in the chairs, and all of a sudden, like, parachutes start popping open, and, like, a bunch of, like, Chinese soldiers with, like, the machine guns.
I don't know. I think he sees PlayStation backing out, and he sees all these... I feel like he just sees it kind of spiraling the drain, and he wants to get out while it's still got
okay.
Some critical acclaim to it, you know?
But the problem is he's saying what he knows about the show now, which means that something bad has gone on, you know, and he doesn't want his name associated with it. I want to know what that is.
Maybe they're going to do something really offensive or political or something, you know what I mean?
They just have Trump there. Like, they'd be asking to just shut E3 down.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Anyways, you know, rest in peace, E3. I mean, you're still alive, but you got that one foot in the grave.
I was about to say, I was kind of rooting for E3, but with Jeff Keighley out, it's like, ooh, that's a big hit right there. Like, that's more of a hit than PlayStation dipping, honestly, if you ask me.
Especially with him saying it in such a way that's, like, damning.
You
know.
That's sketchy.
Anyways, Eddie McCooch at GameSpot says, while Sony is bowing out of E3 2020, Microsoft will be at the show to reveal more of Halo Infinite and share more of its plans in the lead up to the Xbox Series X launch later in the year. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has now provided an update on how Microsoft's E3 2020 planning is shaping up. He said on Twitter that Microsoft held the latest planning meeting on February 15th, during which he and his team discussed some of of the titles it might show off or announce during the company's briefing. He teased there will be a quote-unquote deep portfolio of Xbox Game Studios titles scheduled to appear at E3, though he did not name any outright. Spencer also mentioned how console launch years are just special, referring to the launch of the Xbox Series X later this year. Spencer also mentioned that veteran Xbox marketing boss Aaron Greenberg is leading the E3 planning team. Greenberg hasn't shared any specific insight into the Xbox E3 2020 plan, but he did tease in his own tweet that Xbox may be partnering with Taco Bell for something. Okay.
That's why Jeff Kiley had to get out of there.
Yeah, he's like, I can't do
God.
this. E3 2020 takes place in June. If history is any indication, Microsoft's E3 2020 briefing should take place on the evening of Sunday, June 7th.
Introducing the Doritos Loco Series X.
God.
A square taco.
Yeah, that's something they would probably do. Honestly, why? Why is that even mentioned in this article? I wanna
Bro,
know.
big things, dude. It's one of the studios that fucking Xbox bought, dude. Taco Bell.
They bought Taco Bell to... oh, my
Taco
God.
It's going down, dude.
Anyways, what you got?
Oh, man. I don't know if I'll be able to beat that. No, I'm just kidding. Lara Croft is coming to Rainbow Six Siege. Well, sort of. Ubisoft has announced that it's adding a Lara Croft skin for Operator Ash during the next season. Operating Operation Void Edge. It will be an elite skin, meaning it should cost some amount of R6 credits to purchase, probably a fake load. The Ash Elite set will also include a victory animation, multiple weapon skins, and a Lara Croft chibi charm. So,
Yay.
get hype.
I'm excited. From James O'Connor at GameSpot, Diablo and Overwatch are both getting animated series based on them, and the Diablo series will be an anime-style show for Netflix, much like Castlevania. This is according to the LinkedIn profile of Nick Van Dyke.
Wait, the Diablo one is going to be on Netflix? Or
and the Diablo series will be for Netflix. Yeah, Diablo will be for Netflix. I'm not sure about the Overwatch one. It says... on the LinkedIn profile of Nick Van Dyke, co-president of Activision Blizzard Studios, who previously served as a producer on the Netflix original animated series Skylanders Academy. According to Van Dyke's description of his position within Activision, Diablo is getting an animated adaptation rendered in anime style, which is currently in pre-production and will release worldwide through Netflix. This series has been rumored for some time, but this seems like confirmation that it is happening, although it could be a while away yet if it's still in pre-production. Further down, Van Dyke mentions that he developed and sold an animated series based on Blizzard's Overwatch franchise, alongside his creative partner. Nothing formal has been announced about this series, and it's not clear who the series has been sold to. Overwatch has frequently fleshed out its backstory with CGI animated shorts, including the Overwatch 2 announcement cinematic. So, interesting, I guess. I honestly, as I was grabbing this article earlier, and up until this point, for some reason, I thought it said we were getting an anime Doom series.
Oh, so that would be way cooler.
Yeah, I'm much less excited now.
Did you see there's a new Doom movie on Netflix?
Yeah, I heard it was horrible.
I heard it was horrible too. I thought it was anime when I first saw it because it was just a picture of a really terribly rendered CG monster. I was like, oh, cool anime. And it was a live action. Yeah,
just make it anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That'd be sick, dude.
It'd be so good.
I'd watch it. Let's see. Best Buy has a new Animal Crossing New Horizons bundle up for pre-order. For $65, you can get the game and a plush bell bag that holds your change, small knickknacks, or Animal Crossing amiibos when they're misbehaving.
Or drugs.
Or drugs.
You can put whatever you want in there.
Especially drugs.
Yeah.
You'll also get the Tom Nook phone and tech badge that comes with all New Horizons pre-orders
that
at
track
Best
phone,
Buy.
bro.
Yeah.
You got the bell bag to hold all your drugs, and then you got the Nook, the throwaway phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
They're setting you up right
burner,
here. The
yeah.
burner, bro. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Anyway, Steve Watts at GameSpot. Call of Duty Modern Warfare has been teasing what could be a Battle Royale mode since the start of Season 2, and it wasn't long before intrepid players started glitching their way into it. Now, citing industry sources, more potential details have emerged, including a reported release target. VGC reports that the mode is targeting an early March release, which would most likely mean either March 3rd or March 10th, since Modern Warfare updates hit on Tuesdays. The release will replace the currently gray redacted area that was added to the main menu upon the Season 2 launch. At the same time, the Battle Royale mode will reportedly be released as a free standalone game, which will give players the option to upgrade to the full Modern Warfare. The report also claims it will use the same battle pass as the main game, letting you progress through and earn cosmetics in any of the game's modes. In-game, Warzone is said to support up to 200 players in a game broken into squads. Similar to Apex Legends, it will use a ping mechanic. Existing Modern Warfare players will recognize some areas of the map from its large ground war mode. It will also reportedly include a new plunder currency that can be spent on gear or spent for gear, but you'll also drop your own plunder if you're holding when you're taken down. You can bank plunder to save the loot for future matches, but starting the process will alert other players that you are a rich target. Death doesn't count you out of a match entirely and instead puts you into a gulag where you'll fight 1v1 against another player to return to the match.
Oh, dope.
That's kind of tight, actually.
Tight. I like that.
I'm into that. I like that they're changing that up and that it's going to be free to play.
Dude, yeah. I always kind of, I've been wanting to get Modern Warfare, and I think once they add that, I'll probably jump in.
You don't even have to get it. It'll be free to play.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I missed that. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying. I was thinking about the gulag and like.
Yeah, it's gonna be free to play. So like, it'll be a standalone game. But
what?
Yeah. So in it, it'll be like, oh, you can upgrade to the full Modern Warfare.
Bro, that's tight.
Yeah, dude.
I want that.
I'm ready. And it says it'll have like a season pass. Whatever season pass comes out for the actual game, the free players will have access to that as well. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Speaking of free-to-play, if you're looking for a realistic free-to-play shooter to take on the go on your Switch, your search might be soon over. The multiplayer first-person shooter Warface is coming to Nintendo's console very soon. First released in 2013 by Crytek Kyiv, Warface first made its way to PS4 and Xbox One in late 2018, where it amassed 13 million players over the course of a year. With its mix of PvP deathmatches and PvE raids, Warface is structured similarly to shooters like Destiny, but its boots on the ground gunplay invites frequent comparisons to Call of Duty. In 2019, the team behind the game left Crytek Kyiv to form their own studio, Blackwood Games, which works in tandem with publisher My.Games to maintain the free-to-play shooter. Currently out on the Australian eShop with a global release soon to follow. So,
cool.
Check that out.
James O'Connor at GameSpot says the PlayStation community forums are being shut down. The brief announcement posted by community manager Groovy_Matthew encourages users to, quote, continue the conversation via PlayStation.blog, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram instead. The PlayStation forums, which have largely served as help and support outlets for people who encounter issues with their PlayStation devices and accounts in recent times, will no longer be active from February 27th. It looks like Sony is closing support forums across all parts of their business, as the Sony Xperia forums are also closing. With social media's influence growing, forums are becoming less popular. While it was still surprising when BioWare closed their forums in 2016, few in the comments below this announcement seem shocked. I guess I'm not really shocked, but I think for like that kind of help, like support and stuff, I think forums are more helpful than, social media. That's just, it's such, who are you going to talk to on social media about your PlayStation issues? You know what I'm saying?
A bunch of fucking people who think they know everything.
Yeah, it's like, this is just stupid. And you might even ask and no one's going to respond to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like...
You got to go to like a PlayStation specific thing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go to the right facet of social media. I'm sure you could get some help if you're in the right part of Facebook or something, but it would be like unreliable,
It'd be unreliable. It'd be hard to find. It's like with the PlayStation Forum, it's just there. You Google it and it's there.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True dat.
Anyways, what you got?
Okay, so on Pokemon, they're doing it to where basically there's like 30 new Pokemon you can put in the game through Pokemon Home for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Sorry.
Yeah.
I won't go through the whole list because there's a dickload. There's also a lot of Alolan and Unova and Kanto region Pokemon that are getting put in the game.
Nice.
But if you boot up your Pokemon Home account, you can get a couple of free Pokemon too. Let's see. First time you log into Pokemon Home, the service will let you choose one of the original 3 starter Pokemon, Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. Let's see. They have a special ability. Let's see. There's a Pikachu that's waiting in your box for you when you open your Home account. So that's 2 free Pokemon. And then the first time you trade a Pokemon on Pokemon Home, you'll get a free Rotom. And then let's see.
A Rotom?
A Rotom, yeah. And then the first time you Wonder Trade, you'll get a free Eevee. So take advantage of these free Pokemon. You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah, free Pokemon. Mon. So let me see. James O'Connor at GameSpot says, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie has enjoyed a strong first weekend at the U.S. box office, opening to $57 million, according to Box Office Mojo. This eclipses even the most generous of pre-release expectations and means that the movie has now had the best opening weekend ever for a movie based on a game, surpassing Pokemon Detective Pikachu's $54.3 million opening. It's worth noting that the $57 million figure is an estimate, and although eventual figures tend to trend up rather than down, there's always the possibility that the movie made slightly less than expected. Pokemon Detective Pikachu was originally reported to have made $58 million on its opening weekend, which was later revised to the $54.3. So in any case, it's a good opening for the movie, which has attracted mixed reviews, although GameSpot's review from Phil Hornshaw was very positive, as were many others. The movie is expected to do well at the box office on President's Day, February 17th, too. The movie has made an additional $43 million outside of the U.S. so far.
Wow, that's hard to believe. It's doing better than Detective Pikachu did. I thought Detective Pikachu seemed like it was doing pretty good. Yeah.
I think it's just because it's like talking about like domestically. I'm not really sure. I think that's what it said. Or, yeah, the U.S. box office specifically. That's not, like, worldwide.
That's still surprising. I feel like that just baffles me, you know?
Yeah, who cares about this blue hedgehog, dog?
This blue bitch.
Like, I mean, unless you got the song, unless you got the City Escape going on, you don't have me. You don't have my love. Anyways, but I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really speak on whether that happens or not. I hope it happens.
I also hope.
Like, if that part's in the movie, like, if that is somewhere in this movie, we get that song, like, I'll just be...
Bro, I would literally just give all of my money to the people. I would buy that movie, like, 15 times if that was the case.
I'd like, call the studio and try and, mail them money. Like, you guys can just have my paycheck.
An envelope full of money.
Yeah, I'll live in the streets and work to send them money.
Dude, I would buy that. If it was a deleted scene, I would buy whatever kind of special edition I had to buy.
Just to get that deleted
scene. Yeah.
Same. What you got?
Okay, so here's a hot leak coming in. Got a hot leak for you.
Leaking steam.
So usually these leaks from the rating boards have been pretty spot on, Spot on. Last time we talked about BioShock leaked, rated for the Switch. Yeah. But now we know that XCOM 2 Collection and Catherine Full Body have both also been rated for the Switch in South Korea.
Ooh.
Which is pretty cool. Catherine is a dope-ass game, and I've been wanting to play Full Body Edition, so...
Well, now it seems like you're going to get to.
I think I'm going to get that Full Body, bro.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like that. Y'all just go to Pornhub and type in Brent Catherine full body and see what comes up. Anyways, Eddie Makuchik.
Don't do that.
I mean, you can. I don't know what'll happen. I don't think anything's gonna pop up. What if you're like, don't do that, guys.
Just trust me, bro.
You're like, I forgot I uploaded that video.
You don't want to see what you're gonna see.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
It better not be on there.
You better not.
Because we're gonna.
You better not have done that.
I feel like Jason Domican is probably searching it like right now.
Oh, you already know.
And he's gonna send us the thing and be like, "It was real."
It's gonna be a GIF of just the video in question. You know.
Anyways, Eddie Makuch at GameSpot says, Amazon's Lord of the Rings TV show is one of the most anticipated projects currently in the works, and as such, it's seemingly a highly sought-after job for actors. A lot of the cast has already been announced, but that hasn't stopped people from sending in audition tapes in the hopes they might land a role in the big-budget fantasy show. Glenise Mullins, one of the writers of the Amazon show, has been receiving these tapes and wants you to please stop sending them. Quote, I'm sure they're great, and I trust you're super talented, and I really do understand your passion. But again, I'm not involved in the casting, Mullins said. Another writer, Jennifer Hutchinson of Breaking Bad fame, replied, yeah, to suggest she was also receiving a lot of audition tapes. Patrick McKay, one of the showrunners of the Amazon Lord of the Rings show, replied to Mullins and Hutchinson with the Anchorman sorry gif. I mean, my thing is like, everybody just keep sending those tapes. You know, I just want them to just keep getting tapes.
We need to double up.
Yeah.
If you're sending one tape, just make
send
two.
4.
Yeah, send 4.
Yeah, that's not double. Yeah, we got to. I'm sorry, my math is
fine,
off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think
that's bigger the better, you know?
We should send ours. We should send.
Oh, yeah, let's send some tapes. Let's just send them a new tape every day.
Not a new tape, but a new tape. Yes.
Yeah, a new tape. Well, some could be nude.
Like, we said, I don't know, I'll play like an orc or something. And like what would you play? Who would you be?
I don't know, the bow guy, Legolas. Yeah,
the bow guy. All right, so you're Legolas. We'll get you some like elf ears and shit, and then I'll just get real gross. Like I'll go outside and roll around in the dirt for a little while,
dude. Yes,
and come back in and just.
We need to make a fuckload of them. Like we need like 365 different videos.
After the show's already out, we're still sending them like every day. They're like, dude. Oh my god! Like we get like a restraining order and stuff.
The show's been canceled for like 3 years, and we're just still sending videos.
But we should make our videos like you know, like a series, like actually have like a full storyline going on through the whole thing, and we play all the really different
invested
characters.
In it. And like one day we just stop sending the videos, and they're like, "What happened?"
Like, I want to know what happens to Legolas.
We need to leave it on like the biggest cliffhanger ever.
What would the cliffhanger be?
We just produce this whole show just to fuck with these people.
Dude, I'm down though. I feel like we could we should do it with like the worst quality ever and just keep sending it like the worst acting.
Before every clip, we have one of those action clipboards, and it just says like audition for Lord of the Rings, take
episode 4.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's good. What you got? What you got over there?
Yeah. Let's see. Infinity Ward packed a lot into the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare Season 2 update. This includes a new dismemberment animation that is incredibly brutal and disgusting. You can
Thank you.
You can see in the video below. No, you can't because it's not it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is an article. Probably Eddie Makuch wrote this. I don't know. That players killed by kill streaks can now have their heads blown clear off.
What game is this?
Modern Warfare, Call of Duty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Controversial. Controversial.
Yeah, it's violent, it's gross, but you can turn it off if you want to. So just know that it's optional.
Yeah, if you can't handle it,
you can't hack it.
You can't fucking hang, bro. That's fine.
If you don't want splody body parts, then don't. You know, you might be in the wrong place.
Yeah, you might just be. You know what I'm saying? All these fucking weak bitches out here.
Yeah.
Can't even play with the gore turned on.
God, where were they in the back in the day whenever we were blowing up heads in Wolfenstein? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
dude. Wolfenstein. Conker's Bad Fur Day, bro.
Yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day, dude.
Mortal Kombat. We just name every like violent game ever. No, anyways, Eddie McCooch at GameSpot says
they don't even know.
They don't even know, bro. They don't even know about brute force, bro. They don't even know about what's another really violent game.
There's a lot of
them. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, bro. No, I'm just kidding. The Uncharted movie.
Mortal Kombat 2, bro.
Mortal Kombat, what was the N64 one? It was like the gold pack.
Armageddon?
No, it was like, it came with like 3 of them, and then it had like the 64 game.
I don't know.
Whatever. But they don't know about that one.
They don't know about that one. We don't know about that one. Oh.
Anyways, so Eddie McCooch at GameSpot says the Uncharted movie has been a long time coming, and
Can I just say this? Is Eddie McCooch the only person that works at GameSpot?
He works really hard.
He works hard, bro. Somebody give this man a raise. Like,
if he probably owns the place at this point.
What the fuck? Like, this man is a one-man article writing machine. I'm sorry.
Like, he's probably got carpal tunnel out the ass, dude.
I just wanted to say, props to old Eddie McCooch. Where would we be?
Yeah,
if Eddie McCooch wasn't out on the front lines doing his shit? Like,
there would be no GameSpeak podcast without Eddie McCooch.
Yeah, the real invisible driving force behind.
He's the Ghost Rider. The Uncharted movie has been a long time coming, as it's been in one form of production or another for more than a decade.
Ooh.
It now seems like the stars have finally aligned, as Spider-Man actor Tom Holland is on board to play young Nathan Drake with Mark Wahlberg attached to play Sully. Holland has now given an interview about the film, and he seems enthusiastic about the script. In particular, he said the movie may succeed where other video game adaptations have struggled because its story is a new one, not a retelling of any of the games.
I feel like that's exactly why it won't succeed.
No, yeah. Quote, I read the newest draft of the script, and it's one of the best scripts I've ever read, he told IGN. It really, really jumps off the page. I think what Uncharted offers that most video game films don't is that it's an origin story to the games. So if you played the games, you haven't seen what's going to happen in the film. If you haven't played the games, you're going to enjoy the film because it's information that everyone else is getting at the same time. Holland went on to himself acknowledge that the Uncharted movie has endured a protracted development timeline. And there has been lots of turnover as well, as the movie has shuffled through 7 different directors and numerous scriptwriters before getting to where it's at today, which is nowhere. Quote, I'm super excited to make that movie, and it's been a long time coming. I think Mark Wahlberg is going to kill it as Sully, and it's going to be a lot of fun, he said. Well, you keep on dreaming, little Tom Holland.
Oh, he's got high hopes, man.
I know. I feel bad for him.
It's got to happen, man. Tom Holland's going to make this happen,
No. Probably not.
Oh, yeah.
What you got over there?
Let's see. Multiplayer hack and slash roguelite Conan Chop Chop has suffered yet another delay.
Oh, really?
Instead of launching February 25th, it's now expected to arrive sometime in Q2 2020.
Oh, okay. Well, I have that in this week's releases, so I guess they didn't put on, like on the site that it got pushed back.
It's unfortunate. Yes, Mighty Kingdom said the extra development time will allow the studio to optimize Conan Chop Chop for online multiplayer, as well as to add some finishing touches to polish the overall experience. Quote, it's basically all about getting that final chop in place, studio head Philip Mays said.
God.
This isn't merely a one-chop game.
Okay, we get it.
This is Conan Chop Chop.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's what I was so worried about, was that it wasn't going to be optimized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was just so worried about that. Conan Chop Chop.
It was pretty much my biggest concern.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest piece of news we have.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie McCooch, once again at GameSpot, says Ubisoft has shared more details about when Rainbow Six Siege will launch on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and how they'll work with existing versions of the game. Game director Leroy Athanasoff told Windows Central that Rainbow Six Siege will be available for both next-generation consoles at launch, or at least that is the current target. It makes sense that Siege will be available on the new consoles from day one, given Sony and Microsoft have already come forward to say the PS5 and Xbox Series X will support PS4 and Xbox One games respectively. The Xbox Series X will also play Xbox 360 and original Xbox games, but Sony has yet to clarify its position on backwards compatibility beyond the confirmation that the system will play PS4 games. Basically you'll have cross-gen play is what they're saying. So
yeah,
you'll be able to
expected, I think.
I
think I can safely say we expected this.
But I think that's interesting. Like they're saying, like, I don't know if they went into that on here, but I had seen that they mentioned that you'll be able to play, like if you have it on Xbox One and somebody has it on Xbox Series X, you'll be able to play against each other online even if you have it on two separate consoles.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the way it should be. I mean, in the future we're moving towards, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Okay, this is cool, especially if you're a minor league baseball player. Before this year, getting full minor league rosters in MLB The Show meant downloading a roster update that members of the community spent hours upon hours constructing, creating each player from scratch with as close as possible player likeness, batting stance, pitching motions, equipment stats, and so on. Now, full minor league rosters are officially coming to MLB The Show 20. Developer Sony San Diego put out a new trailer revealing the exciting change coming to this year's baseball sim, complete with footage of former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow hitting a home run for the New York Mets AAA affiliate. This is an exciting addition for the franchise mode and Road to the Show players in particular, where the journey up through the minors was previously full of fake players unless you downloaded one of the aforementioned roster updates from the community. So that's pretty cool. I feel like I don't know. I'm a sucker for like realism in games like that. You know what I mean? So I think just the fact that they're adding like real players, and also it kind of gives a little shine to the minor league players that are out there playing the game and shit. You know what I mean? That's cool that they get their actual likeness put in the game. I don't know. Yeah,
I wonder why they weren't before. I guess there was like some type of licensing issues.
Yeah, they probably were worried about getting sued. Like, oh, I don't want to, we have to pay these people and blah, blah, blah. It's probably licensing, yeah.
Yeah,
But still, that's really cool. I don't know.
Anyways, Remedy Entertainment, the studio responsible for the award-winning surreal action-adventure game Control, currently has 3 games in development, with 2 of them now entering pre-production. Studio head Tero Virtala, in a recent financial report, confirmed that progress on Crossfire/Crossfire X and Vanguard, both multiplayer experiences of some sort, is going smoothly. Virtala said Crossfire is expected to launch on Xbox One sometime this year, while Vanguard is now entering the pre-production phase. But there's another one apparently that they're working on that hasn't been mentioned. So
interesting. Do we know anything about those other games, or are they just kind of like some names we have?
I think it's just names that they just said that they're both multiplayer experiences, which is weird for Remedy. Like the Max Payne guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to see. I want to see what's going on.
Okay, I've got an article here. I won't read the whole article, but basically it's just talking about how Quantic Dreams, now that their relationship with Sony is over, they're going to start pushing towards self-publishing and becoming a publisher for other independent game studios. So,
Well, good for them.
Yeah, they said that, let's see, this new venture will allow us to make decisions in total independence and address the technological and strategic opportunities of next-generation platforms. It will also allow us to help other developers by providing investment and development support so they can fully express their talents. We want to support the creators of original projects and help them, in turn, to achieve their vision and offer quality, groundbreaking experiences. So that's kind of cool, I feel like they'd be good people to team up with if you were trying to make a game,
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So they're not under Take-Two anymore, right? So Remedy was originally under Take-Two, I think, like the same as GTA and all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Remedy people.
Yeah, okay. And now they on their own.
They on it.
Anyways,
Well, no, the article I was just talking about was Quantum Dream, the Detroit Become
I don't know why I was thinking of Remedy. I'm sorry.
No,
we
you're
were
good.
just talking about Remedy.
Yeah,
That's why I got confused.
I thought you were going back to that one article for a second. I was like, oh, okay.
No, I thought we were... my bad.
No, my bad. Sorry.
I always get
Quantum
Dream mixed up. I always think it's a Remedy game for some reason as well.
Dude, me too. It's something about the style. You know? I don't know.
Anyways,
that's all I've got for the news so far.
That's all I've got, too. So we're going to jump on over to this week's releases, where I'm going to let you know what brand new games you can get in the next 7 days, guys. We're going to start that off with Smash Tennis, which is coming to the NES Online for Switch on February 19th. In Smash Tennis, the controls may be simple, but there's plenty of room for skill. With strong shots, weak shots, lobs, and 8 different court types, you can develop all sorts of approaches, unlocking the deep strategies of tennis. Thank you. Then we have The Suicide of Rachel Foster coming to PC on February 19th for $15.
You're just Rachel Foster and you're killing yourself over and over again. That'd be a fucked up game.
Some chick named Rachel Foster buys the game. It's like, yes, the ultimate simulation. A thriller about love and deception. The Suicide of Rachel Foster follows a young woman returning to her childhood home to uncover her family's past and the passing of the titular character, Rachel. Trapped by a raging blizzard outside, you'll explore a grand old mountain hotel and discover the haunting secrets buried within it. Throughout this intense first-person journey, you'll rely on the support of a lone FEMA agent whose voice will guide you as you try to unravel the... Okay, this is just fucking Firewatch.
Yeah, I was about to say, but at the same time, I do like that kind of game. I'm into walking sims that have a good story, you know?
But I feel like that's a blatant ripoff. The whole time you have a FEMA agent talking in your ear, just like in Firewatch, you have that shit.
If it's good, I can deal with it. You know, like that one game... what was that one? Was it Gone Home where you go through all the different memories?
No, that's Edith Finch.
Oh, Edith Finch. Yeah, that was such a good game. That game stuck with me. But Firewatch also. I feel like I just like that style of game.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So if this is even on that same kind of plane, I could get into it, you know?
For sure. I'll check it out. I'll look at it. 3000th Duel is coming to Switch on February 19th for $14.99. A hero with no memory and with a mysterious mask covering his face is thrown out into this land of unknown. Reaching to an end of his journey, he discovers a truth that is hard to swallow, something terrifying about his true identity. In the action-adventure game 3000th Duel, explore a huge world with organically connected biomes. Fight against monsters with your own style of battle and speedy, exciting battles. Your own style of battle and speedy, exciting battles. Okay, terrifying monsters, multiple platform actions, and mysteries await you. Encounter 150 plus monsters and final bosses using the aspects of discovered weapons. Collect occults spread all over the map to use the forbidden magic. Okay,
get a cult, dude. Just collect it.
All right, dude. And then Blood of Steel is coming to PC on February 19th. Couldn't find a price for this game. In Blood of Steel, you command the army of a legendary commander from world history to conquer cities and expand your territory against other players online to ultimately rule the world. And then we got Shadow of the Ninja coming to NES Online on Switch February 19th. It is the year AD 2029, and America is ruled under the dictatorship of Emperor Garuda. In the midst of disorder and oppression, 2 shadow warriors rise to the people's cry for help. Choose to play as one of 2 ninja masters from the Iga clan, Hayate and Keita.
Oh, yeah, my boy.
Yeah, of course. As they infiltrate enemy front lines in 16 action-packed stages.
I wonder if it's the same Hayate from Dead or Alive.
Hayate. It might be.
You know?
It might be. Just like how Hayabusa is from Ninja Gaiden, yeah. Huh? Master tactics of stealth as you acquire new weapons and power-ups, defeating numerous foes until you reach the Emperor himself. And then we got Eliminator Boat Duel coming to NES Online Switch February 19th. Get behind the controls of a red Eliminator 243 Edge power boat and dethrone racing. Okay. Wait, and dethrone racing champion Disaster Dawn. I was like, what did that mean? Disaster Dawn is who you're racing. You'll have to challenge 7 of the toughest competitors in the world before you get a chance at Dawn. While you're on the track, you'll need to keep an eye out for obstacles like gators, swimmers, and sharks. After winning a race, take your boat to the docks to upgrade the turbochargers and repair hull damage. Fire up the engines and make the beach babes swoon and eliminate her boat duel.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right. And then we got Poppin' Twin B coming to SNES Online Switch February 19th. Return to the cute poppy setting of the Twin Bee world with the 6th game in this vertically scrolling pop-em-up shooter series. Twin Bee and Winbee hear that the great Dr. Murdoch has lost his wits, so they set off to return him to his normal self. First released in certain territories in 1993, Poppin' Twin Bee is part of Konami's long-running whimsical top-down shooter series featuring the Twin Bee characters, an iconic case-set character set often seen in Konami crossover games and promo art. This is similar to the beautifully rendered arcade sequel of 1991 released worldwide as Bells and Whistles, but featured different stage design and more. I'm falling asleep reading this. But yeah, so there you go.
Gotta give us the whole history lesson on that one, dude.
Yeah, right. And then we got Katana Kami, A Way of the Samurai Story, coming to PS4, Switch, and PC on February 20th for $29.99. Katana Kami's story revolves around a mysterious, unnamed wandering samurai who offers to help out the hopeless blacksmith Gunji Dojima. Dojima's daughter was taken away as collateral for his debts. Armed with Gunji's forged katanas, the samurai heads into the mysterious Jikai dungeons to find materials and katanas to improve Gunji's business and earn enough to repay his debts. And then we got Monster Jaunt coming to PC on February 20th. Couldn't find a price. Monster Jaunt is a party game that values skill over luck as players compete in a strategic board game that's also a collection of 20 minigames. Up to 4 players compete as rival tour guides determined to take their vacationing monsters on the best holiday ever. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, that does actually.
Then we got Conglomerate 451 coming to PC on February 20th for $19.99. Conglomerate 451 is a futuristic RPG that plugs gamers into an evolution of the classic first-person dungeon crawler genre, data moshed together with a cyberpunk twist. Tasked with taking down the corrupt corporations that threaten Sector 451 of Conglomerate City, establish and manage a crack team of cloned agents, altering their DNA and outfitting them with the latest and high-end cyber limbs, implants, and weaponry to best carve out an edge in the city-wide struggle.
People need to stop biting cyberpunks fresh, dude, you know?
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying, you know?
Like, there's not enough room out here for multiple cyberpunk games.
There's other punk shit that they could be doing.
Yeah.
Do
some other punk shit.
Do steampunk. Nobody's doing like historical steampunk.
Yeah, get on the steampunk wagon.
There's other punk stuff, right?
Yeah, you could. I could make up a punk right now, pirate punk or something.
Ooh, pirate punk, or like radioactive punk.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit you could do.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
I just feel like everybody's trying to do the cyberpunk thing right now to cash in while cyberpunk is hot. You know, it's just like,
For sure, definitely. And then we got World of Horror coming to PC on February 20th. Couldn't find a price. The old gods are reawakening, clawing their way back into a world that's spiraling into a mysterious madness. In a small seaside town of Japan, the population's sanity is dwindling, and otherworldly grotesque creatures terrorize those who call the place home. In World of Horror, it's the end of the world, and the only solution is to confront the terror reigning over the apocalypse. Navigate this hellish roguelite reality through turn-based combat and unforgiving choices in this cosmic horror RPG. And then we got Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition coming to Switch on February 20th for $19.99. Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition is an enhanced re-release edition of the greatest hits title, boosted and more badassed with a new playable character, Dante's evil twin brother, Virgil, with his own unique Dark Slayer fighting style, the new Jester enemy, a 20% faster turbo speed, an alternate gold orb save system, new and more balanced difficulty levels, Bloody Palace mode, pitting Dante against an onslaught of enemies, and movie mode for cutscenes.
Cool.
And then we got Vitamin Connection coming to Switch February 20th for $19.99. Fill your prescription for fun in this unique cooperative bacteria blasting experience. In Vitamin Connection, players assume the roles of Vitaboy and Minigirl and take control of the minuscule capsule ship to battle evil bacteria from within living organisms. By blasting subatomic foes with your vitamin beam, utilizing a special claw tool, and navigating maze-like stages, you'll save the members of the Sable family, including the dog. Okay, and then we got Lumote coming to PC February 20th. Couldn't find a price. Possess, jump, and think your way through this beautiful 3D puzzle platformer with vivid visuals and quirky characters. Play as Lumote, a squishy, bioluminescent creature on a quest to overthrow the Master Moat. Solve a world of puzzles by taking control of its inhabitants. And then we got Sonic the Hedgehog 2 coming to Switch on February 20th for $8, the sequel to the groundbreaking Sega platformer. Here, introducing new characters, Tails and Super Sonic, to the frantic platforming action play and even more lively graphics and sound.
Probably a good time to cash in on that one, you know?
Yeah, right? That's probably why it got released. And then we got Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle coming to Switch and PS4 February 20th for $39.99. The Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle includes 14 games in the beloved Kunio-kun action and sports franchise, plus 4 bonus US versions of top classics in the collection River City Ransom, Super Dodgeball, Renegade, and Cash in the Boys Street Challenge. Packed into this Retro Brawler Bundle are the following games: Double Dragon 2, The Revenge, Double Dragon 3, The Sacred Stones, Renegade, plus Neketsu Renegade Kunio-kun version, Super Dodgeball, plus Neketsu High School Dodgeball Club, River City Ransom, plus Downtown Neketsu Story, Crash in the Boys Street Challenge, plus, surprise, Neketsu New Records, The Distant Gold Medal, Neketsu High School Dodgeball Club, Soccer Story, Downtown Neketsu March Super Awesome Field Day. What the fuck is all this? Downtown Special Kunio-kun's Historical Period Drama, Go-Go Neketsu Hockey Club, Slip and Slide Madness, Neketsu Fighting Legend, Kunio-kun's Neketsu Soccer League, and Neketsu Street Basketball All-Out Dunk Heroes.
So it's like a bunch of brawler beat-em-up games and sports games?
I guess, yeah. With the word Neketsu in it.
Okay.
Whatever that means. And then we got Dread Out 2 coming to PC on February 20th. Couldn't find a price. It's a unique take on third-person action adventure survival horror with an Indonesian supernatural in veins. Dread Out 2 mixes the gameplay of city exploring, smartphone ghost hunting of the first Dread Out and new action-packed combat within the Dread Out supernatural realm. Even though it is a horror game in veins, there's still the touch of silly high school problems, satiric social commentaries, and yet touchy, memorable moments. And then we got Puyo Puyo 2 coming to Switch on February 20th for $8. The object of Puyo Puyo 2, a head-to-head puzzle game sequel, is to clear your grid of falling patterns, called Puyos, by forming chains of 4 or more same-colored Puyos in a straight line or on one of several geometric patterns. It's actually a decent game. And then we got CL Fledge, a daughter-raising simulator, coming to PC and Switch on February 21st for $19.99.
Daughter. That's weird.
Oh. In a distant future, humanity has abandoned Earth, facing near extinction by a colossal alien threat. Amidst the destruction, a mysterious young girl is rescued and brought to safety on Ark 3, a magnificent city built in the sky. Seal Fledge is a game about raising an adopted daughter in a future world that still has hope. Featuring compelling management gameplay and a lovable cast of characters, it's up to you to take care of Seal until she reaches adulthood and becomes ready to fledge the nest.
Oh God, you have to play the game until she's all the way until she's an adult?
It's an 18-year game, bro.
Jesus.
How will you raise Seal? Using a helpful schedule, plot each day of the week and see what happens as the days unfold. Choose classes and hobbies and encourage Seal to make friends. Or take a part-time job to earn more money and enjoy nicer meals for dinner. Send Seal on expeditions to the surface of Earth to explore and discover new areas of the old world. Scavenge useful items and work with friends to fight enemies for a huge stat increase.
So it's kind of like Monster Rancher.
It's kind of like real life. Or get a second job so you can eat better food. The trials of daily life take the form of challenging puzzle battles, complete an activity, or pass a class test by winning at strategic match 3 card games. Okay, lots of stuff. Anyways, and then we got Brief Battles coming to Switch on February 21st for $14.99. Conquer your foes with flaming hot pants, buns of steel, toxic tighty-whities, and more in Brief Battles, a party game with a cheeky twist. Start battles with nothing but your buns to slam and squish those in your sights. Scramble to grab super-powered undies to embrace the power of the butt and gain an underwear-fueled edge over your friends as you strive to prove who has the mightiest buns.
What the fuck?
This is like a Scholastic book fair game.
Yeah, for real, dude.
And then we got Draugen coming to Xbox One and PS4 on February 21st for $19.99.
It's like dragons, but with an owl.
I think that's what they were going for. You like it's like
yeah.
No, I think it's pretty clever, dude. I don't feel like you appreciate the.
No, I'm just admiring
the creativity.
How incredibly clever it is.
It's like so creative, dude. Like I would have.
How could they ever have come up
with
with that?
I would have put like DROWGEN.
Oh, like dragons,
like Draugen, like a cow. Drow. But see, we're not smart enough. And anyway, so Draugen is a first-person survival horror adventure set amongst the deep fjords and towering mountains of Norway's awe-inspiring west coast. The game is a dark and disturbing journey into the pitch-black heart of Norwegian national romanticism, as seen through the eyes of an American nature photographer, botanist, and entomologist. Yes, one of those. And then we got Tony Stewart's Sprint Car Racing coming to PC on February 21st for $29.99. Feel the rush of over 900 horsepower as you slide through the turns in a 410 wing sprint car. No, Tony Stewart's Sprint Car Racing puts you in the heat of the action, and the mud will fly as you hit the track in a dirt racing experience featuring all the drama of Saturday night short track racing. Okay, whatever. And then we got Mathland coming to Switch on February 24th for $5.99. Mathland is an educational video game for kids. Improve your mathematical level in addition, subtraction, and multiplication while setting sail for a real educational adventure. And then we got Mega Man 0/ZX Legacy Collection coming to PS4, Switch, Xbox One, PC, February 25th for $29.99. Ready your Z-Saber and prepare to mega merge as old friends and new heroes from the Mega Man universe unite in Mega Man 0/ZX Collection. Included are all 4 Mega Man 0 games, plus both ZX games, Mega Man ZX and Mega Man ZX Advent. Expect challenging boss battles, fast-paced platforming, and precise combat in each game. And then we got 2 Point Hospital coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on February 25th for $39.99. This is also coming to Game Pass on the same day. In the hospital simulation 2 Point Hospital, build up a hospital from nothing to a masterpiece as you design the most beautiful or functional healthcare operation in the whole of 2 Point County. Optimize your hospital design to increase patient and cash flow. Arranging corridors, rooms, and waiting areas to your exact specifications.
Oh, that actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about the healthcare system.
I wouldn't. I just want to make a big ass hospital.
Rich ass hospital.
Yeah.
And then we got Cloak and Dasher coming to PC on February 25th. Couldn't find a price. Cloak and Dasher is a 2D platformer where every level is a unique challenge of skill and reflexes, and there are more than 50 of them. You play as Cloak, an infiltrator, a specialist in slipping into ancient ruins and finding treasures before the excavators arrive. Devilish mazes full of obstacles, deadly traps, and recovery drones stand in your way. And then we got Broken Lines coming to PC on February 25th. Couldn't find a price. Broken Lines is a story-based tactics game rich in atmosphere. Control a squad of mismatched soldiers fighting for survival in Eastern Europe during World War II. Play and equip the squad while dealing with disillusioned veterans and eager recruits. And then we got Conan Chop Chop. Oh, that's not coming. We just said that. And then we got Rune Factory 4 Special coming to Switch on February 25th for $59.99. Rune Factory 4 adds new romance options, the ability to select a male or female character at the game start, and has endless crafting, farming, and cooking opportunities. The player becomes Selfia's prince or princess and can manage the village, explore the countryside with townsfolk, or tame monsters in the wild to aid them in battle or to help out in the fields.
Yes.
And then we got Samurai Showdown coming to Switch February 25th for $49.99. Samurai Showdown returns with the next generation version of the weapons-based fighting franchise, now with 3D graphics to represent the characters in traditional side-scrolling fighting combat. Once again, set in the late 18th century after the events of Samurai Showdown 5 and prior to the events of the original game, Samurai Showdown will see the return of 13 classic characters, including Huamaru, Earthquake, and Golford, who will be joined by 3 brand new characters to the series. There are a host of modes in Samurai Showdown, such as story, practice, online battle, and multiple offline battle modes. Also debuting is an innovative new asynchronous online mode called Dojo that uses deep machine learning to create a CPU avatar that learns from players' actions during offline modes and creates a ghost AI character. That's pretty interesting. And then we got Space Channel 5 VR coming to, Space Channel 5 VR Kinda Funky Newsflash coming to PSVR on February 25th for $39.99. Ulala returns for Space Channel 5 VR Kinda Funky Newsflash. Dance is your power to protect the Earth against invading aliens. Become the #1 funky news reporter in all galaxy. Space Channel 5 VR brings players brand new stories, characters, stages, and sounds. Identical twin sisters, rookie reporters Lou and Key, have been assigned to cover a breaking dance news story as your avatars in co-op virtual reality rhythm action gameplay. What? None of that made any sense.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I am just probably not imagining. I'm imagining, like, Parappa the Rappa.
That's what I see, too. Like... I literally see that same thing. Or like that one game that was on the DS, it was like Beat something. It was like Beat Stars, or I can't even remember what it was. Anyways, Infliction is coming to Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 on February 25th for $19.99. Infliction is an interactive nightmare, a horrific exploration of the darkness that can lurk within the most normal-looking suburban home. Wander through the heartbreaking remnants of a once-happy family, piecing together clues and trying to atone for past sins. However, you are not alone. Something else has remained in this house, a being of infinite grief and rage. While you hunt for clues, it hunts you, waiting for its chance to unleash its anger on you.
Whoa.
And then we got Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind coming to Xbox One on February 25th for $39.99, telling the other tale that unfolded during the climax of Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind is a major downloadable content add-on for the hit game Kingdom Hearts 3. Determined to rescue Kairi? What's Kairi?
I have no idea.
You played this game.
I played a little bit of it.
Sora travels to the Keyblade Graveyard a short time before the final battle was to take place. Lacking a corporal form, he traces the hearts of the 7 Guardians of Light. Through experiencing their personal battles firsthand, Sora is about to discover truths that he has never before imagined. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh my God, so many games.
God, and so little substance, you know?
Yeah, nothing good. Anyway, well, I mean, some of those might be good.
Them,
I don't want to hate,
but fuck, dude.
It's like, you know, just don't even tell us your game's coming. No, just kidding. No, but that's it for this week's releases. We're going to jump on over to Currently Playing, where we're going to let you know what we've been playing. And you can tell us what you've been playing in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast, or you can just, put it in the comments on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this.
Yeah, put it all over there.
Yeah, put it everywhere.
Yeah.
Copy paste it.
Yeah.
Anyways, you want me to go? You want to go?
Why don't you kick it off? Why don't you lay it on me?
Okay, so I'm gonna lay it down. So this week I played a little bit more of the Banjo-Kazooie. Got a little further on there. I helped Chomp. What's his name? The Clanker. I helped out Clanker in that game, and went to the snow level and all that stuff.
Oh, fun.
Hunted 100%ed those, and now then I jumped on over and played on the PSVR Firewall 0 Hour.
Oh, fun. Yeah. That's one of my faves.
Pretty interesting. There was a guy who was so I went to the training mode, which is kind of like practice, but it's still online.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who's level 50, and then it was me and another level 1 player. And this guy could barely speak English, but he was so helpful. He was going around and he kept on saying, he was laser, and pointing his gun laser at the thing that I needed to pick up. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because he just kept doing it. I was like, does he want me to do it, or does he want the other guy to do it? He's like, laser. He's like, laser. And I was like, okay. And I walked over and pressed X on the thing, and he was like, good job. And then I was like, yeah. It's thanks. This guy's great. And then we we started up like a new match and we were defending, and like me and the other dude got dropped real quick, and I was like, oh damn, the game's about to be over. And like I could see like, it goes into spectator mode, and like he comes walking in and like all these bodies are dropping, and he's like 1, 2, 3 as they're dropping, and then he's like, and then he comes over and like heals me, and he's like 1, and then he goes over to the other guy and he's like 2, and I was like,
what a G, dude.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? And he's like, whenever we were like in the menu, he was like, yeah, not too many people speak same language here. He's like on PSVR.
It's true. There's so few people online that kind of just integrates every country together, like.
Oh yeah, that's what I figured, because the other guy didn't speak English either.
You get a lot of Australian people. I think VR is really popular in Australia for some reason. I see a lot of Australians when I'm online.
Yeah, and I know Firewall 0 Hour is like peer-to-peer, like connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're playing on like real online with like 8 people, like you're constantly migrating hosts, and like the game will drop and you have to re-go into it. That's the one problem with that game. It doesn't have dedicated servers.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's how it was even for the training. It took me like 5 times to get into that match with that guy, but he was cool. It was pretty funny, like just having him like as like this support guy. But then the major thing that I've been playing, I put about 10 hours into it so far, is the original Max Payne.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It's my game. It holds up, huh?
Oh, it definitely holds up. I don't know what got me in the mood to play it. Like, just randomly, I was like, man, I want to go back and, like, beat the first Max Payne. And because I never played Max Payne 2. I think we were talking about it last week or something on the show. But I never played Max Payne 2. So I found a bundle on Steam for $14.99. It came with the first and second game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm almost done. I'm like in the last chapter of the game. But there's like different. It's like chapter 3, part whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm on like part 5 of chapter 3.
I never played number 2 either, but I heard it was good. I played 3 all the way through. It was a lot of fun, and I played 1 all the way through, but I never played 2.
Well, number 3 wasn't made by Remedy. Number 3 was actually made by Rockstar.
It was still really good.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's why, like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, I don't like 3, or I don't want to try 3," is because of that. But
they did a good job of keeping that Max Payne feel with 3. You know what I mean?
It looked more cinematic to me.
It was very cinematic, but I think you got to expect that because, like, at the time, I mean, graphics were just kind of coming into their element, and it was like, holy shit, we can make these realistic. So everything was like going for the most realistic they could, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember specifically watching the X-Play for Max Payne 2. I remember them like reviewing it on there. Yeah, I remember Adam Sessler talking about it. I don't remember whether they said it was like good or bad. I think they gave it a 4 out of 5. And they said like the romance part in it like made it like interesting.
Yeah.
But that there's no way to play any of the Max Payne games on console, like unless you have the original console. Like there's no backwards compatibility for it whatsoever.
Really?
Not for any of them.
I have it on my phone. I have the original Max Payne on iOS. That's the way I've played it in my most recent playthrough.
Yeah, it's just upsetting to me that they don't have.
It's weird.
Like, a way to play it other than iPhone or like Steam.
You'd think it would be backwards compatible on Xbox. That seems like one that should have made the list.
Right? And the Steam version of the first game is so bad. Like the sound, I haven't had music the entire time. Like there's no music in the game. You have to download like a separate file to get music in it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, even though I paid for it. Like you have to go to like a separate website and like find it and download the file and like risk, destroying your laptop.
That's some bullshit.
And I was like, I just don't need music. Like I've just been playing with just like the gunshot sounds and stuff. Yeah, literally. And it's not bad. It's really great. But that's what I've been playing. I plan on finishing that tomorrow and then hopping into the second game for the first time ever.
Hopefully you don't have to download a music file.
No, God.
Because it's one thing if you're playing through Max Payne, a game you've played probably multiple times. You know what I mean? Like without music.
I already know.
Yeah, it's not like you're missing out. But with for your first experience, you definitely definitely want to have it the way that the developer intended it to be played. You know what
Definitely. I mean? Definitely. Anyways, what have you been playing, Brent?
So, okay, I got this game called Titans of Space, and, it sounds stupid, but it's just like this, space thing, and you, like, it's a VR game, and you fly through space, and,
As
like...
a Titan in space?
Kinda. It's like... You're in the spaceship, and this little guy talks to you and tells you facts about all the planets in our solar system, and then it shows you like a scale representation of the Earth next to that planet. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, this is what you were showing AJ.
Yeah. It was really interesting. It's a cool little like 30-minute tour, or they have a shorter version that's like 10 minutes if you just want to like go quickly through the solar system. It's really interesting, and it's only $10, so it's definitely worth a look. It even has a little mode where you can like go 0G and like fly around the planets and stuff. And then I played this game called The Fisherman's Tale. I haven't finished it yet. It's like a room escape kind of thing. It's really trippy. It basically puts you in this room where there's like a model house, and like inside of the model house is a tiny version of you. And like the little model version of you does everything you do. And then above you, there's a giant version of you doing everything you do.
What?
So you're doing all these puzzles with, like, this tiny house and this giant version of you. And, like, so, like, say you need a ladder, you know what I mean? Like, you get the little ladder from the model house and, like put it over here, and like the big version of you puts a ladder in front of you, and you take the big ladder. You know what I mean? Just like it's weird and trippy.
Sounds interesting.
It's a really cool puzzle with like a weird perspective on things. It's definitely
That's not the one with like the giant Coke can or whatever, is it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't beaten it yet, so there might be a giant Coke can at some point.
Because remember we watched like a trailer for.
Oh no! This is
not
different.
that game.
No.
Okay.
This is really interesting though. It's kind of got a similar like feel to it, you know, as that. It's got a cool story to it too, and the graphics are really good. It's got a lot of things going for it.
Nice.
Then I went on SideQuest and I downloaded two things. I downloaded Terminus Demo and High Seas. Both of these games are made by the same people. They're both free on SideQuest. High Seas is like a full game pretty much where you're like in a boat and you're in this like huge storm and there's like waves everywhere, and like you gotta like captain your ship through the waves and like avoid icebergs and shit. And if you hit an iceberg or something, you gotta like run down to the bay, which is cool because it like maps out your room. So like you never have to like actually like use your sticks at all. You just run to the door and you open the door, and then it takes you to another room, and then you run over to what you need, and like you put the fire out with the fire extinguisher or whatever, and like the boat will start flooding, and like it gets up to your waist and stuff, you know, and you'll be like wading through water trying to get like shit done and fix your boat, and like you have to steer the boat and like the music will get really intense every now and then, and this huge like tidal wave will come, and you gotta like ride the wave the right way or else your boat will flip over. It's a really trippy and cool idea for VR, and it's really intense too. Like something about that big wave coming while the music's like dun 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 dun, and you see it, and like it goes way up over the boat and shit. It's like intense and scary, especially the first time it happens.
Sounds tight.
It's really cool. And then I played a game called Terminus. Same people made this game. This is just a demo. But you're like basically going through these subway tunnels with like this monster coming after you, and like you have a flashlight. The cool thing about this game is you have this like backpack on your back, which I feel like is a really cool inventory system for VR. Like you just pull this backpack off your back, and you can like put anything in the game world into the backpack and like pull it out, and it like makes a little icon. It feels really natural. Whenever you need to like use a flashlight or something, you just pull it out of the backpack, and like, you know, it's good to go.
Nice. Should be a satchel.
But both of those games have really, really good graphics for the Oculus Quest. Like, it's impressive how good they look on the Quest. You know, specifically because they're on the Quest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
like,
it's not plugged in anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it was just on a PC, it'd be like, yeah, whatever. But, like, the fact that it's just running on the Quest and looking so good, it's like, damn. And they're free, so. And then I also went and traded in some games, and I saw this thing the other day, and it was like, if you're a pro member at GameStop, they start giving you $5 a month now. And I'm wow. I'm a pro member, So I was like, I'm going to go cash in on my $5 or whatever. So I had 2 $5 coupons, and I put it towards the Evil Within game. So I got both of them. And I've started playing the first one. I think I'm about halfway through it.
Where are you at?
Let's see. I'm just beat chapter 5, I think. I'm not sure.
Like what just happened?
I'm trying to think. The last thing I remember, I fought this big chainsaw guy.
Was that the first chainsaw guy you fought?
I don't.
Did you just save a scientist guy?
Yeah. Well, there's a scientist. The chainsaw guy busted through this wood thing, and then I got the chainsaw from him, and I cut this chain.
Yeah, to open the door.
Yeah, to open the door. I probably still have quite a bit.
You have a long way to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The game never ends.
Really?
It feels like
I'm really into it right now
forever.
so far.
Yeah, it's a good game. I liked it. I didn't play the second one. I heard the second one was really good too.
Really? I got them both for $10 a piece at GameStop. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also forgot to mention that I didn't play it, but I had my girlfriend play it. Was the Apollo? Is that a mosquito? Are we about to die? Does this thing got the? We have a mosquito.
The coronavirus.
It's got the coronavirus.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
We're both infected.
Oh my God, I'm infected. No, but anyway, so I got my girlfriend to play the Apollo 11 game.
Oh, the VR one?
The VR game.
Yeah, what'd you think?
And so whenever it's taking off into space, I just put it on the cinematic one so she didn't have to interact
that one
with
part where you gotta fucking dock the ship is impossibly hard, dude.
Yeah, I didn't think she would understand it, so I was just like, all right, let's put it on cinematic and just enjoy the ride. She wanted to see the moon and stuff.
Yeah.
So as the ship's going up, I grabbed, she was sitting on the bar stool and I'm just shaking it.
Oh, dope.
I'm trying to give her the 4D experience.
That probably actually was
dope. She thought it was so crazy, just being in that game. I was like, man, I wish I had that excitement for a game.
Yeah, for sure.
She's like, holy shit, looking out the windows.
Tight.
So
I took my Oculus Quest over to my girlfriend's brother's house the other day, and I let their whole family just one by one try it, and they were all just freaking out. It made me so happy. They loved it.
It's always cool to watch someone not used to it.
For sure.
Anyways, so that's it for currently playing. We're gonna jump on over to the topic of the show. Today's topic of the show is a controversial one. Do video games cause violence? So I watched a CNBC documentary on this, whenever I was doing my homework, and I found out that there's 2 lead psychologists who are battling it out over, whether video games cause violence or not. And to this day, a lot of people claim that there's no solid evidence on either side. People are fighting on both sides saying this side's wrong or no, this side's wrong, even though I thought this was already finished and I thought this was a known fact that it didn't cause violence. But let's jump into the side that claims that there is an impact from video games. And then after we go through these, the sources, the sciencey part of this, then me and Brent are just going to talk about it. We're going to give our thoughts on it and stuff like that. So starting off with a study called Effects of Violent Video Games on Aggressive Behavior, Aggressive Cognition, Aggressive Affect, Psychological Arousal, and Prosocial Behavior. A meta-analytic review of the scientific literature by Craig A. Anderson and Brad J. Bushman. So Brad J. Bushman is the guy that is
anti-video games.
He's anti-video game, anti-violence in video games. So this is a little bit of a long read. I'm kind of summarizing it. So we searched Psych Info for all entries through 2000 using the following terms: video or computer or arcade and game and attack or fight or aggress or violence or hostile or whatever, blah, blah. The search retrieved 35 research reports that included 54 independent samples of participants. A total of 4,262 participants was included in the studies. About half of the participants 46% were under 18 years old. If a research report did not contain enough information to calculate an effect size estimate, we contacted the authors and requested the missing information. Studies were considered relevant if they examined the effects of playing violent video games on aggressive cognition, aggressive affect, aggressive behavior, psychological arousal, or physiological arousal, or pro-social behavior. Studies were excluded if participants merely watched someone else play a video game. In some studies, half of the participants played the game while the other half watched. Where's that? Where the other half watch, and the reported results were collapsed across this play/watch manipulation. When we could not estimate the effect for play participants, we used the collapsed results but divided the sample size in half. So they're basically just giving their variables and everything, like saying this is, everything
like
we
an
looked at.
aggregate kind of score.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It says when multiple measures of the same type of I'm just gonna, like, if you guys want to see this,
Seems legit. I believe it.
yeah, just look up the article. You can Google the title that I read, and you'll find this.
What about the study? What did they?
So it says, let me see. I want to get to the results.
Yeah.
Is there a reliable association between exposure to violent video games and aggression? Across the 33 independent tests of the relation between video game violence and aggression involving 3,033 participants, the average effect size was positive and significant. High video game violence was definitely associated with heightened aggression. Indeed, this effect of violent video games on aggression is as strong as the effect of condom use on risk of HIV infection. The moderator analysis yielded no significant effects. Violent video games increased aggression in males and females, in children and adults, and in experimental and non-experimental settings. But because the experimental non-experimental distinction is so important, we calculated separate average effect sizes for each type of study. For the 21 experimental tests, the average effect was 95% confidence interval. Thus, short-term exposure to violent video games causes at least a temporary increase in aggression. For the 13 non-experimental tests, the average effect was 15 to 0.15 to 0.23, whatever that means. Anyways, thus exposure to violent video games is correlated with aggression in the real world. We further divided the non-experimental tests into 3 categories based on how exposure to violent video games was measured: by time spent playing violent games, preference for violent games, or time spent playing video games in general, ignoring game content. The magnitude of the effect did not depend upon the type of measure used. In all 3 cases, the average correlations with aggression were positively and statistically significant. So they're saying that even non-violent video games caused aggression. The average correlations with 95% confidence intervals were for time spent playing violent video games. So for preference for violent video games and for time spent playing video games in general. We've blah, blah, blah. The magnitude of the effect depended on the aggression target. The average effect was larger if the target was inanimate, or was an inanimate object rather than if the target was a person, respectively. So the 17 independent tests of the link between video game violence and aggressive effect involving 1,151 participants also yielded a significant positive effect. They basically go on to say that, like, it was all positive effects. That it says they found that video games, whether it was a violent video game or not, impacted the aggression of the participant. Whether it was a woman, child, man, it doesn't matter. But my thing is just like, we'll get into that in a second. Okay, so let's go to the other side real quick. And this is an article called "Do Angry Birds Make for Angry Children? A Meta-Analysis of Video Game Influences on Children's and Adolescents' Aggression, Mental Health, Pro-Social Behavior, and Academic Performance." This is by Christopher J. Ferguson, professor of psychology at Stetson University. Now, this guy is the antithesis of the other guy, and they were both in this CNBC documentary, like, fighting for their side. Jason Schreier.
These guys are both like medical professionals, right? I mean, they're not.
Yes, they're psychologists and professors. The issue of whether video games, violent or nonviolent, harm children and adolescents continue to be hotly contested in the scientific community, among politicians, and in the general public. To date, researchers have focused on college student samples in most studies on video games, often with poorly standardized outcome measures. To answer questions about harm to minors, these studies are arguably not very illuminating. In the current analyses, I sought to address this gap by focusing on studies of video game influences on child and adolescent samples. The effects of overall video game use and exposure to violent video games specifically were considered, although this was not an analysis of pathological game use. Overall, results from 101 studies suggest that video game influences on increased aggression, reduced pro-social behavior, reduced academic performance, depressive symptoms, and attention deficit symptoms are minimal. Issues related to researchers' degrees of freedom and citation bias also continue to be common problems for the field. Publication bias remains a problem for studies of aggression. This was his article. He said, I examined 101 studies on the subject and found that violent video games had little impact on kids' aggression, mood, helping or behavior, or grades. 2 years later, I found evidence that scholarly journals' editorial biases had distorted the scientific record on violent video games. Experimental studies that found effects were more likely to be published than studies that had found none. This was consistent with others' findings. As the Supreme Court noted, any impacts due to video games are nearly impossible to distinguish from the effects of other media, like cartoons. Sorry, guys. I just accidentally hit the button. Okay. Like cartoons, and movies. So you can check Brown versus Entertainment Merchants Association. This is an actual thing that happened in the Supreme Court where they basically confirmed that video games do not cause violence. So if we're going according to our own government and the Supreme Court, video games do not cause violence. So that's set in stone. But and I guess this guy had something to do with it. Any claims that there is consistent evidence that violent video games encourage aggression are simply false. Spikes in violent video games' popularity are well known to correlate with substantial declines in youth violence, not increases. These correlations are very strong, stronger than most seen in behavioral research. More recent research suggests that the releases of highly popular violent video games are associated with immediate declines in violent crime, hinting that the releases may cause the drop-off. In 2005, the APA released its first policy statement linking violent video games to aggression. However, my recent analysis of internal APA documents with criminologist Alan Copenhaver found that the APA ignored inconsistencies and methodological problems in the research data. The APA updated its statement in 2015, but that sparked controversy immediately. More than 230 scholars wrote to the group asking it to stop releasing policy statements altogether. I and others objected to perceived conflicts of interest and lack of transparency tainting the process. It's bad enough that these statements misinterpret the actual scholarly research and misinform the public, but it's worse when those falsehoods give advocacy groups like the NRA cover to shift blame for violence onto non-issues like video games. The resulting misunderstandings delay efforts to address mental illness and other issues that are actually related to gun violence. That's the both sides. Okay, so these are both, legitimate psychologists who even our government has gone to for, consulting on this situation.
Yeah. It sounds like the first guy, had his samples or whatever. But it sounds like the second guy made most of his case about disproving the first guy.
Literally.
You know what I mean? Almost everything was okay, this is wrong and this is why. That being said, just being totally subjective myself, you know what I mean? I personally see the merit on both sides of the fence here. You know
do too.
I mean? I definitely think we would be completely ignorant to just be violent video games don't cause violence or don't inspire violence. That's ignorant, I mean, when I've seen, a 10-year-old kid play the Doom game and then hop around the house pretending like he's ripping demons in half with his bare hands. What I mean?
One of those children.
I was also one of those children. And it's just we would be fools to think that like there's not some little source of inspiration, but like that other article said, it's probably not any more or less than
movies,
any other form of media. But again, if we're going to be subjective or play devil's advocate or whatever, you got to think about the fact that you're actually in control of these characters, making them do these things. You know what I mean? Like the no Russian level or whatever in Call of Duty, it kind of harkens back to that. Like you're the one spraying down the crowds. You're not just watching a movie about some bad guy doing it, Yeah,
you're put in that role. But speaking of which, I think honestly the correlation that he talked about in hyper-violent video games coming out and the violence among youth declining after the game drops, like directly after, I think that goes to show that violent video games can actually help people that have tendencies toward violence because they can live it out in the game.
Yeah.
It's like almost like living it out in a fantasy, rather than going out and hurting somebody.
Yeah, I think there's probably some sort of psychological release, like similar to going and punching a punching bag or something. You know what I mean? Like there's probably some sort of endorphin in your brain that goes whenever you do that. And I don't have any kind of science backing that, but it just seems like,
it's I mean, just speaking from like anecdotal experience, I mean, like I've never played a game and thought, I want to kill, a person in real life because I did it in this game. Like that's never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But I think that goes to show that with like, violence in video games, I feel like it attracts people that, it attracts everybody. A lot of people like violent video games that aren't violent people, but I could see where it would draw people that have this inherent want for violence, like...
Well, I think if we're going to be real, if we're just going to cut the shit, I think it's in our human nature. I really think that there is an inherent, want for violence in everybody.
Well, not for, real violence.
Not for real violence, but I mean, it's like a dog wants to play with a toy or something. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to go fuck up, the animals in your yard or whatever, but they'll fuck that toy up bad, because it's in their nature. You know what I mean? I think we're no different. I mean, people forget we're just fucking animals. You know what I mean? And I really think it all kind of goes back to that. And that's not saying we're all bad people. We're going to go around hurting people.
No.
I just feel like there's a little bit of it in
there's
nature.
There's a fantasy to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like... everybody's had the fantasy of being John Wick. You know what I'm saying? Even before John Wick was a thing. We imagine like somebody from our family. Before John Wick, it was the Punisher. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to be that like hero. You know what I'm saying? And violence just happens to be a part of being the hero. Because it's like a power thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm strong. And I can protect the people around me. I think the violence that you find in video games tends to be a lot like that, outside of like Grand Theft Auto and things like that. Like you're typically the good guy, you're typically the person, that's saving the day. And I think that's where the violence is almost like it doesn't even have to be there for it to,
But I think a lot of this goes to the few instances. While there are few, there are enough examples of Grand Theft Auto pointless killing violence in video games to warrant this discussion.
Yeah, of course.
I definitely think that there are a lot of situations in games that are like, okay,
it's a little over the top. But
I'm not saying we should stop. I'm just saying it's I get it,
But it's also it's why we have ratings,
True, and I think that's a big thing. I think the ratings board needs to be more, I don't know, taken more seriously, I feel like any 15-year-old can walk into Walmart and buy a rated M game and not get questioned about it,
No, I mean, I had Conker's Bad Fur Day when I was 12. I was raised on Conker's Bad Fur Day and Halo and Grand Theft Auto. But
that
look
was
at
the
us,
Wild
though.
West back then. I mean, we're it's a little bit more savvy nowadays, but not much. I really think I don't know. People just need to take the ratings more seriously, and I don't know.
I just don't see I agree with you that there should be an open discussion about it always, because I feel like if you refuse to even admit that there might be something wrong, then you're making the problem worse. You're making it seem like you're trying to hide something. You know, it's almost like if the video game industry was like closed off to the prospect of you know, somebody coming in and breaking it down and looking at the science behind it and all this stuff, then it kind of proves itself to be something wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I'm open to the idea that, you know, maybe some kid with violent tendencies played Halo and thought, hey, I could do this in real life. You know, like, maybe that has happened. But I think the overall majority of people, you know, play Halo and they're like, shit, Halo's cool. You know, like, I want to play more Halo, not go out and shoot somebody.
And I think the kid that plays Halo and decides, oh man, I'm going to go do this in real life, he's probably going to have some kind of psychological break somewhere along the line anyway. That's not, you know, I mean, it's just...
I was talking to my brother-in-law about it earlier, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I mean, you know, somebody, you know, that same guy, if he had never played the video game, he'd probably see someone smile at some point, and that smile would trigger him. You know, it's just like that person was going to, you know, react that way at some point, no matter what. You know, it's like, it's just them. It had nothing to do with the game. The game just kind of, you know, for whatever reason triggered it, you know?
My thought is like, you know, obviously, you know, it's very possible that video games are causing, you know, some form of violence in the youth. But the question is, do the pros outweigh the cons? You know what I mean? Because there's obvious pros as well. You know, like Minecraft is a great example of a game that's just nothing but good. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like, you know, do video games inspire creativity? Do video games inspire, you know, social environments where you can talk and learn and interact with other people? You know what I mean? Like multiplayer games, team building, you know what I mean? Even games like Mass Effect where you're just like talking to an NPC and like making decisions and stuff. I feel like these are all things that...
It's pro-social.
Yeah, the pro-social, you know? It's like, do those elements make up for the fact that maybe there's some violence in the game? You know what I mean?
I think it does. And I think the problem with the opposing saying, you know, or I don't want to say the opposing, but the Bushman guy who claims that, you know, the impact is on aggression, we have to look at that. Aggression doesn't automatically mean violence. You know, aggression could just be it's like watching a sport. You know, like people get aggressive when they're watching the UFC because they're in the moment, you know? And that's the one thing he does say in his study is that it's a temporary aggression increase. You know, it's like well, we don't have any long-term studies on it yet, but it's like, if the fact that it's temporary proves that it's just them living in the moment, you know, like they're like, it's like when somebody throws a controller because they're infuriated at the game, they're not planning on shooting everybody because like the game pissed them off.
And just like your example, I'm sure if you went and looked up, you know, some kind of statistic about UFC fighters that go around outside of the UFC fights and actually like fight people on the street, you know, it probably wouldn't be as many people out getting in street fights as you'd think. You know what I mean? I bet these guys get done with their UFC fight and they go home and they just chill, you know?
Well, I'm not even talking about the fighters. I'm talking about the spectators.
I just mean like in general.
Oh, in general.
But I bet that's even lower, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm betting that the people in the crowd aren't going and getting into fights. I mean, maybe like when the fight's happening or something. But
that's what I'm talking about is the aggression. It's even with NFL, anything. Forget UFC, any type of sport. When you watch a sport and you're rooting for a team and they're like, you know, it's like neck and neck, your aggression levels are going to increase, you know, just naturally. I'd
be willing to bet that the aggression levels at one of those esports events are way lower than fucking the aggression levels at a football game.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Or at a European like football, you know, like
gosh, dude.
Literally like they have soccer hooligans, you know, that are just pure violence. Like I remember reading an article about a guy was wearing like, it was like a New York Yankees hat or something outside of this, outside of like an away game at like a different place. And these two guys with a baseball bat killed him. Like they beat him to death because he was wearing the wrong team hat.
Jesus Christ.
Like, don't go to New York if you like baseball and wear the wrong team. But yeah, so like that's it's like, when have you heard about that with video games? You know, like it's like, yo, bro,
hey, you play Fortnite? No, man, no.
Yeah, we only play PUBG around here. It's like, but that game sucks. What'd you say? Yeah, but like, anyways, I asked for anybody's thoughts on, do you think video games cause violence? We're gonna get some reader mail here, or listener mail. Jason Domican says, absolutely not. It's a filthy excuse for lazy ass parenting. If your kid plays GTA and then gets and has the urge to go out and fucking shoot someone's face off, that's your fuck up as a parent, not teaching your kid basic understanding. So no, it doesn't, and I fucking hate it when people claim it does. Oh wait, hold on. He said, and be sure to say it in an angry voice just for effect.
Oh, good.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, redo that, angrier.
Absolutely not. Oh wait, I gotta do it with a British accent. How's the British accent?
Absolutely not. I don't know if he's got like, I don't know what region of England he's from.
Jason, I hope you don't get offended by this, but you're getting a absolutely not. It's a filthy excuse for lazy ass parenting. If your kid plays GTA and then has the urge to go out and fucking shoot someone's face up. Wait, I just got Australian. That's your fuck up as a parent, not teaching your kid basic understanding. No, it doesn't, and I fucking hate it when people claim it does.
Now call him a mug.
Muggle? Like
a mug.
A mug?
Now call him a slag.
You slag?
There you go. Good job.
Yes.
You're officially British.
Yeah, and he said,
no, but he's got good points. You know, one thing I will agree with about Jason is I think most parents don't realize, a lot of parents don't realize, that there are like really good parental controls built into most modern consoles, you know?
Yeah.
If you go into the settings, you can basically control not only what your kids are playing, but how much time a day they're playing, things like that.
Yeah,
you know?
And even on a base level, like what he's saying, like, forget the parental controls, teach your kid right from wrong.
True.
You know, like,
yeah.
Talk to your kid, have communication with your child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be like, yo, I know you're about to play this violent video game. I want you to know that, you know, that's not right. You know, the things that happen in it, it's not, you should never want that in real life. You know, like that's what happened with me. And I mean, I'm going on record here saying my mom's crazy, but she, you know, she told me, she was like, yeah, you can play these games, but don't do anything that you play in the games. And I was like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. You know, like I can make that happen, like not do anything in the game.
Yeah.
Anyways, he said, Jason said, dude, my daughter been capping feds in GTA since she was 5, bro. She gets straight A's and she's one hell of a sniper. If anything, games have taught her a ton. When she plays, she looks at the nature, the details. She finds it fascinating that you can recreate worlds on a disc, and just, oh my God, she's such a little dork. I absolutely love it. She appreciates the game for the art and work behind it. Sounds dumb for a 7-year-old, but she's been interested in me playing since like 2, so she's naturally grown to love it. So no,
you know, that's another thing. I feel like I had a way higher reading level at a younger age because of reading subtitles and stuff in games, you know?
And you learn things that you wouldn't learn, you know, typically in like everyday life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, lots of little weird facts that I know just because they popped up in a game somewhere, you know?
Yeah. And so the other listener write-ins is IYTLE or ITIL. It says, even though media pushes violent tragedies every day as a whole, there is less violence in the world. So I get what you're saying there, you know, like that there's less violence, you know, in general throughout the world. But I think, you know, I don't know if that correlates to video games, you know, just because it's like it's a very specific group, like, you know, group that they're looking at whenever we talk about this. But I mean, the other guy did mention it in the article. You know, he did say that, like we were talking about earlier, the release of violent video games lowers the crime rate in youth, you know, and the violent crime rate. And then Couples Gaming Therapy says, yes, in video games, poor in PCs. Good call.
Good call.
But yeah, so that's it for the topic of the show. Let's end it on, Brent, do you think video games cause violence? Real world violence?
I think if unchecked, that a young mind can be influenced heavily by the type of media that it consumes. I don't think video games inherently cause violence. I think that, violent media can influence violence. You know what I mean? I'll leave it at that.
And I personally say if you follow the ratings board and you stick to your age, or wherever your maturity level is, don't let your 4-year-old that you're, pretty certain is not mature enough to play this game. Don't let them play it. Like if you don't feel confident enough in them to play it, then don't let them play it, and then
absolutely.
And communicate with your child. Apparently Jason Domican can talk to his, 5-year-old kid and have these beautiful conversations about the detail in the worlds in the video games. You should be able to have that type of communication with your child,
Absolutely.
Because I feel like if you have that type of communication, you're not ever wondering what's going on in their head. You're not like wondering, oh, is he thinking about killing me? No, because they're going to talk to you about it. They're going to be like, wow, this, whatever. That's my thing. I don't think it causes violence. I think, people that are easily influenced may take things to a level that it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, and that could be said for movies too. Like it just goes for anything. So like you can't just single out video games like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, that was fun.
Yeah, good talk. Good topic.
Good science, bro.
Science.
And we're gonna jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, do you have the People's Champ?
Oh, I got the champ. I got the champ right here.
There's one right here. If you want to check that first, the second one. I thought that was a pretty good one.
Wait, what? Hang on.
This one right here. Yeah. Brent's reading the questions.
It's the way it's worded doesn't make any sense to me.
It's like so like every video game the music is changed to that. It's like so either you have to have that in every game or there's just no music.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's make that the champ. I like that. All right. Why don't you read it off?
Okay, Couples Gaming Therapy says every game music score is the NES Mario theme song, or you can never hear music in games again.
That's horrible.
Yeah, which one do you...
Now, okay.
Boop, boop,
so I'm assuming the music has to be turned on, like it's not optional. I guess you can't just turn it on and off in the options, because I would rather have it be there with the option to turn it on and off than nothing.
Yeah, you're just playing through Max Payne and it's like boop, boop, boop.
That would ruin a lot of dramatic games.
As you find the corpse of your toddler, or your infant child.
Okay, yeah. I think you've already made the decision for me. I think I would rather just not have music in games. And it kind of goes back to your Max Payne thing,
Yeah, I played the whole game without music and it was fine. Yeah.
Would it have been better with Mario music?
No, I'd probably not play it.
Okay, well that settles it.
Just have to go deaf.
Yeah, great question though, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Anyways, what you got over there? Listener questions.
Okay, we got Austin Collins here. What's up, Austin? He says, not game related. What do you think about about a limited run Netflix series about the original Power Rangers? David Yost, aka Billy, put it out there. Would you watch it?
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I would watch it. That would be so sick, especially if it was all cheesy like the original Power Rangers. Oh,
honestly, I liked the most recent reboot movie.
I thought
it was good, dude.
I heard it was good.
It was good. It was definitely good. If they did something similar to that, I'd be into it. They could do like a crossover with Godzilla and stuff like that.
That'd be sick.
Since they got that new like Godzilla, King Kong stuff coming out.
I just want a Megazord, dude. 2020.
Yeah.
Megazords.
Megazords 2020.
Yes.
That's who we're voting for.
Oh, thanks, Austin. We have Kyle McAvoy here. He says, did you like Sonic? Thoughts on Jim Carrey? He says, spoiler alert, he went fast.
Oh my God. Now I can't watch it.
Yeah,
dude.
You ruined the movie for... No, I don't think either of us saw it, unfortunately.
No.
Not for lack of wanting to. Well, actually, kind of for lack of wanting to.
But Jim Carrey, I think, is a weird pick for Eggman.
Really? I think he's great. I think it would be perfect.
He's not even shaped like Eggman, though. He's not shaped like an egg.
Well, no.
They could have got anybody shaped like an egg.
You got to put him in like an egg-like robotic device, you know?
Oh, maybe that's what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah, maybe.
But Eggman,
either way, I can't wait. You know, I'll eventually see this.
Yeah, me too. And
Probably
then we'll
not
get
in
back to
theaters.
you
Probably when it comes to Netflix or whatever.
And then Super Beaner asks, are you,
Jesus, can we say that?
It's his name. What if it wasn't his name? I was just calling him that. No, it's Josh Pantoja is his real name in real life, but his Instagram name is Super Beaner. He said, "Are you guys having?"
You gotta stop. No, I'm just kidding.
He can say that. He's Hispanic.
Yeah, he can say that.
No, what? He's supposed to not read people's names. He said, are you guys having a tournament on the 29th? And he's talking about our meetup on the 29th at the Game Preserve.
You already know it, baby.
Actually, I don't think we'll be having a tournament just because unless we like get there and we're like, let's do an NBA Jam tournament.
I was about to say, look, if they have one of those games where you throw the fucking basketballs.
They don't have that.
Oh.
No, it's all like classic arcades. No. There's a lot of pinball though. We could do like
pinball.
Oh yeah, dude.
We got to pick one machine and see who can get the highest score though.
One of the dudes that works there is like a world championship or a world champion pinball player.
Well, he's not going to be allowed to join the.
He's like, hey guys, you are like, no,
no, you don't listen to GameSpeak. No, but we'll figure something out. We'll have some kind of little friendly competition.
Yeah, and then maybe the next meetup we'll meet up at like a place where we can play Smash or something.
Ooh, y'all don't want that. No, sir.
You don't.
No, just
Anyways, yeah, that's it for listener questions this week. Thanks for writing in, guys. We're gonna wrap up the show with Brent's.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
Oh my god.
It's Brent's super hardcore video game trivia challenge.
Oh my god.
These are 5 questions, slow cooked to perfection over an open fire and seasoned with the finest herbs and spices after being marinated for 2 whole days.
That's a long time.
This week's topic is puzzle games.
Whack, dude.
All right.
This shit sucks, bro.
I quit.
No, what do you got?
Number 1. The Turing test is a fun puzzle game, but it's also a real test developed by Alan Turing in 1950 for what purpose?
To distinguish between AI and a human.
Correct. Question 2. The game pieces on which the game pieces on which the game Tetris is based around are called what?
Tetrinos.
Well...
Oh, wait, what is it? Hold on, say it again.
The game pieces on which the game of Tetris is based around are called what?
Yeah, I thought they were called Tetrinos.
You're close enough. Tetraminos. But
Tetraminos?
Yeah, it's Tetraminos. But the way you said it sounded pretty right, so I'm going to give it to you.
I thought I was saying it right.
I feel like you knew the answer, you know?
I did. I don't know why I know that, but I just didn't know that it was Tetraminos. I thought it was just Tetrinos.
It's like there's an M in the middle.
Oh, okay.
But, still, I feel like you got it. I'll give it to you. Number 3. This casual mobile game from 2009 mainly consists of destroying structures with wingless birds fired from a slingshot.
This is a real question.
This is, hey, get ready because it's going to turn up on the next one. Do you have the answer?
Yeah, it's
Are you sure? No, I'm just kidding.
Wait. Is it? It's Angry Birds, right?
Yeah, it's Angry Birds.
Okay, I was like, oh my god, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
No, it was a trick question. Yeah. All right. Get ready for the hard one.
Oh god, no.
The original Brain Age game was called Brain Age: Train Your Brain in Minutes a Day in North America, and Daily DS Brain Training in South Korea. But what was it called in Japan?
Why would I know this? Okay. It's just called Brain Age.
Nope.
Is it like something long?
Yes.
Okay, what is it? I don't know this one.
It's Dr. Kawashima's brain training.
Yeah, I would.
How old is your brain?
4. Oh wait, that's the part of the title?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's the whole title, yeah.
Was that the last one?
No.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5.
In the game Portal, what is the full name of the portal gun you use throughout the game?
Oh my god, I don't remember. Give me the first letter.
T. Okay, the is the first word.
Okay, what's the first letter of the actual
The A.
Okay,
You're never gonna get this.
No, I'm not. What is it?
The Aperture Science handheld portal device.
I should have known that. I've beaten both of the Portal games.
It's okay. That's a weird one.
And then the second one twice. Once in normal and once in co-op. I beat it in co-op with you.
Hey, 3 out of 5 ain't bad.
No, it's not bad. I still won.
Yeah.
Still
a stunning victory. Nearly flawless victory there.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, I missed 2 out of 5. Flawless. Anyways, but yeah, so that's it, guys, for this week. Brent, thanks for those puzzle questions. Remember, you've been listening to the GameSpeak podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. It's all one word. Actually, you don't even have to do that. Just go to youtube.com/Create for Sanity. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle AlJafferJamel and Brent at Brent has one. That's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners, later.
Yodelate.